I spoke with eCapitol News Director Shawn Ashley for details about this week at the Capitol. Shawn, the general appropriation bill came together in the final week and passed, but there were concerns expressed on both sides of the aisle.
That's right. Several members in both the House and the Senate, and both Republicans and Democrats, expressed some concern about how this budget came together. First of all, we started this process very early in the session. The governor told us that her budget negotiators were meeting with legislators that afternoon, and then finally the bill passes on the last day of session and goes to her desk. We started earlier and ended later than I've ever seen it. But one of the big concerns expressed, particularly by Republicans, was that more was wanted. And when I say that, what they wanted to see was more reform. This is one of the most reform-minded budgets I've seen in my 19 years at the Capitol. If you look at the budget itself, the budget bill itself, it's entirely different. But what those members who were critical of it wanted was to see more changes in the apportionments, that off-the-top money we've talked about so many times, as well as better overall budgeting and handling of the process. We saw the House of Representatives, for example, annualize a $1 million supplemental that they received last year. And the many members of the House have been critical of state agencies that have asked for supplementals to be annualized. So we saw a very interesting process this year that didn't come together until the final day and actually almost failed in the House earlier in the week.
And the bonds for the museums passed, but just barely.
That's right. Once again, we had a situation where in the case of OK Pop, the bill failed in the House and had to be brought back up for reconsideration on the final day of the legislative session before being passed. That will provide a $25 million bond issue to create and construct the building, the facility over in Tulsa. In the meantime, the $25 million bond issue for the Oklahoma Indian Cultural Center and Museum also passed, but it is reliant upon some actions with the city of Oklahoma City, ultimately agreeing to take over operations of the facility. If it does not do that, those bonds will not be issued.
What's next?
What's next? The governor, from the day of sine die on Friday, will have 15 days to decide whether to sign or veto all the legislation that has ended up on her desk this last week. So it'll be fun to watch what happens there.
eCapitol News Director Shawn Ashley, as always, thank you.
Thank you.